Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining this step-by-step installation guide webinar for Primavera EPPM 16.1. That good-looking guy is myself. My name is Yuri Sperling. I'm a Senior Applied Technologist at the Oracle Engineering and Construction Global Business Unit, formerly known as the Primavera Global Business Unit. And I'll be taking you through a series of sessions, and we'll be installing the entire stack required for Primavera P6. We'll start with the VirtualBox. We'll install the operating system, the database, the middleware application server, and the application itself. This webinar is designed in a way that if you follow me in every step of the way and you don't skip on me and miss some steps, then you would be able to install all these components, including the operating system, the database, the application server, and the application itself, without having any prior knowledge of any of those platforms. So it's going to be a fun journey, and I hope that you find it beneficial. When we get there, I assure you that you would be looking to smoke a cigar, even if you don't smoke at all. And once this is all done, and we still have some energy, we will install the Primavera Cloud Connect module, which allows to connect the legacy P6 client, the desktop client, via the Cloud Connect module, which is HTTP based. All right, and in order to plan our installation and yours, you must start with the tested configuration document. You want to make sure that any component that you choose is a tested component. Otherwise, if you run into trouble later on, the first thing Oracle will tell you is that you need to run the applications on a supported platform. So you better do it right, and it's a fairly easy process. And the best way to look this document up is to Google it. So let's open our favorite browser. Let's see, and we'll search for it. So let's type Primavera P6 EPPM 16.1, that is the latest version. Tested configurations. And this is an Excel spreadsheet, and let's take a look here. This is the right version, so this seems like the correct document. We'll open it. And on this spreadsheet, you have multiple spreadsheets for each and every component that you need to install. And let's start with the database. We will be installing an Oracle database, and we can see that there are two versions of the database that are currently tested and supported, which are the 12.102 and the 11.204, and they are supported on these specific operating systems. My preference would be to choose the latest Oracle Linux, which is Oracle Linux 7. So we will choose Oracle Linux 7, and the database would be 12.102. We are going to be installing the database and the application server on the same machine. Obviously, in real production environments, those two systems are separated, but for this exercise, we'll be doing it on one single platform. So I want to verify that the application server can run on the same operating system. So I'm going to click on the application and web server tab. If it ever allows me to do so. Oh, it's there, sorry. And I can see that the Oracle Linux version 7 supports Oracle WebLogic Server 12.1.306. So already we have 3 components we need to download. These are the Oracle Linux operating system, Oracle WebLogic application server, the database server, and we'll need to download the VirtualBox platform where we'll run all these components, and obviously P6 itself. Alright, so the best way, or the only way, to download these components would be to go to the Oracle eDelivery site, which is edelivery.oracle.com. And you'll need an Oracle account to sign in, and if you don't have one, you can sign up and get it immediately. And you just need to search for these components. So we'll start with the operating system. So I'm going to type Linux, and I see the Oracle Linux OEL. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to select the platform which we're going to install it on, which is the x86 64-bit. And I'm going to select it, continue. I can choose alternate releases here, but I'm fine with this release. And I agree. And we need to choose which file is the right one for us. And note that these are all ISO files, and this is exactly what we need because we'll be mounting it as a on a DVD drive emulator on the VirtualBox. So we can just download the first one, that is the complete Linux DVD in an ISO format. If you click download, it would install the Oracle Download Manager. I prefer to just download it directly here, so it's downloading it here. Then I'll go back. I'm going to cancel this one. I'm going to return to search. I'm going to search for the Oracle database. So database. Let's see what we get here. Oracle Database Enterprise Edition 12C. So we're going to choose that. I'm going to select the platform again. Let's see, Linux x86 64. I'm going to select it. I'm going to remove the Linux one, which is nice. You can actually search and choose all these together. But anyways, we'll click continue for the sake of simplicity. And we need to choose the exact version that we saw in the document. Remember, don't choose another version. Let's see what we add here. So an Oracle database needs to be 12.1.02. And don't just think that, if it's newer it's better. Stick with the ones that are in the tested configurations document. When you need to upgrade, you can do so with the next release, in case there is a later database up there. So 12.1.02. So this is 12.1.02. What do you know? The latest one. So I'm going to click continue, and I accept. And let's see what we want here. The Oracle database 12.1.02 will just need these two files. This is the database itself. The rest are some other components like the database client. So just download these two, go back, and then this one. Alright, it's gonna be fun. And next we would need the WebLogic server. So I'm going to return to search. Let's do WebLogic server. So Oracle WebLogic server Enterprise Edition. And there's the standard edition. We can basically choose the standard edition, and this is the version of WebLogic that you actually get with the P6 application as a restricted use license, so you can use it specifically for P6 without purchasing a separate license for it. So we'll choose that server. I'm going to remove the database from here. I'm going to select the platform, same Linux, select, continue, and we need to make sure we're downloading the right version. So let's see again what we have here under the application servers, and we need 12.1.3.06. 06 is a patch, so we'll need 12.1.3. Let's see. This one is 12.2.1, so it's a little newer. So let's check for the 12.1.3. 12. Let's see what we have here. It all seems to be 12.2. Yeah, what did I do? I didn't check the alternate release, right? Let's do it again. Continue. Yeah, it is the release, alternate release. Here you go, 12.1.0. I guess it will let us choose the exact one. And we accept again. And we will download, let's see, coherence, fusion middleware, HTTP, Oracle JDK, Oracle WebLogic Server, 12.1.3.0.0. This is the file that we need. All right. Then, of course, it was a fantastic experience. We'll need to download P6 itself. So we'll type P6 EPPM. We'll select platform, our favorite, and I'm going to remove that WebLogic server from here. You can probably do it in one run. And this is the latest P6 16.1. We're just going to take that one. And for this exercise, you probably want to have documentation. It's very helpful. We don't need the tools. We would like to download the P6 Professional. That is the desktop legacy client, but we'll only need it later on. And this is the main file that we do need, the P6 Enterprise Project Portfolio Management 16R1 for Linux. So we'll download this one. Right. And the last component we'll need is the VirtualBox. The best way to do that is to Google it. You guessed right. So we'll just type Oracle VirtualBox download. And we'll go to the Oracle VM VirtualBox downloads here. And we'll choose this latest version, 5.0.2.0. We're installing on a Windows host, so we'll click here and we'll download the virtualization platform. Alright, so all the applications have been downloaded, and I have organized them in a way that be easier to understand. I placed the database files here and the operating system file here, P6 files here, and the WebLogic server here. The first thing you would need to install is, of course, the VirtualBox platform. It's a very easy process. You basically run the executable file and you hit next. You can choose the defaults if you like, or you change the drive if you need to. Create a shortcut, quick launch, that's fine. Register file associations, that's fine. And he mentions that network interface will be reset, so I would lose the network connection for a few seconds. And we click next and install. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. It's not going to take long for you, because I'm going to pause the recording if we need to. Alright, it's asking us to allow. Alright, and we're done. And let's start our VirtualBox. Awesome. Now, you may not, or you would not have this much clutter on your VirtualBox, and just because I have multiple virtual machines already installed here. So just ignore my virtual machines, but you're going to have the same exact interface. And we're going to start by creating a new virtual machine. We'll call it P6 EPPM 16.1. Obviously you can call it whatever you like. And it's going to run a Linux operating system. And we'll be looking for the Oracle 64-bit version. And we'll do next. You want to make sure you have enough disk space and memory to run this virtualization platform. I'm going to give it, let's see, about 6 gigs RAM, and I'm going to create a virtual hard drive now. So let's see, what are the options? Create, use. We're going to create. We're just going to choose the VirtualBox disk image, and I'm going to choose fixed size. I just don't trust the dynamically allocated. It doesn't work, doesn't perform as well when you need it. So make sure you have enough space. I'm going to allocate 150 gigs hard drive space. You don't really need, you may not need this whole space. Probably you can do with 80 or 100 gigs, but I want to make sure I have enough space to have the file extracted and database exported, and to be used as a sandbox environment. So I'm going to use about 150 gigs. So let's just do 150, and we'll click create. And you'll be surprised, but this process does take a long time. So I'm going to pause the recording. So the hard drive has now been created, and we can go ahead and right click on the machine we just created, choose settings, go to system and processor, and I would change it from 1 core to 4. And I would just recommend that you use more than 1 core for performance sake. And then we'll go to storage, and we're going to mount the Oracle Linux DVD that we previously downloaded. So we just click on this DVD icon next to the controller ID. Then we select choose disk. We choose the file, we select the file that we previously downloaded, the ISO file, about 4 gigs in size. And we do OK. And we can now right click on the machine and start it. So we'll choose start and normal start. It should basically boot directly from the DVD and start the installation. So we have a couple of options, and the default one is to test the media, but we are kind of diehards, I guess, so we'll choose install Oracle 7.1. Oracle Linux. We'll hit enter. Seems to be starting. Alright, we'll choose our preferred language. I'll choose English in our case. Alright, we have a couple of options to choose for, actually more than a couple. We'll go to software selection, and you can choose a minimum install if you just want a server without anything on it, but we'll use the server with the GUI, which would allow us to run multiple terminal windows at the same time. And you have other options if you want to add any, but this option is good for our exercise. We'll do done. It's checking software dependencies again. Should take, yep, it's done. And we should click on the installation destination. Make sure the hard drive we created is selected. There's a check mark here. It's set for automatic configuration. So it seems fine. I'm going to do done. And we should be good to go. And I'm going to click begin installation. And it's already starting. And while it's doing that, I'm going to set a root password here. I'm going to do welcome1 with a capital W. It's not going to be happy with it, but I'm going to go with it anyways. So I'm going to do done and done again, so it would accept it. And I'm going to create a user I'm going to call Oracle, which we're going to use for installing the database and the application server and the application. I'm going to use the same password. And obviously you do not want to use the same password for a real environment, but this is just a, I guess, demo type environment. So we'll do done and done again. And we'll wait for the installation to finish. But I'm not going to torture you through this whole process, so I'm going to pause the video and we'll continue. And we're back, and the process has been complete, and we're now ready to hit the reboot button. And if you notice an error message, no need to worry about it this phase. Right, we have to accept the license. We'll read it very quickly, and we'll do done, and we'll do finish configuration. And we would not sign up for updates at this point. No, thank you. And forward. And we now see the login screen, so we click on the user we created and use the password. And what do you know? You have a Linux server up and running, and it's asking again, verifying, making sure, using the language you like and the keyboard you're using, and we'll start using the Linux server. The first thing we probably want to do is connect it to the network. Now, by default, the network configuration is set to NAT, which is a network address translation, which basically means that this virtual machine hides behind your computer, and your host machine serves as the, I guess, sort of a router for that virtual machine. So the easiest way would be to go here to this little icon and set the wired from off to on. Now it doesn't matter if your host machine is connected via wire or Wi-Fi, this would work. It just means that we are plugging the virtual machine in a virtual way to the network. So we'll set it to on, and we should be able to easily check if it's working. If we launch Firefox under applications. And directly goes to the Oracle website and it loads fine, so we are good. So in the next few steps we'll make some preparations to make sure that the operating system is has the prerequisites for the Oracle database that we'll install it next, and that it has the VirtualBox drivers installed so it could share files between the host machine and the virtual machine. So let's start with that process. So first let's open a terminal window, and we're now logged in as user Oracle, and we need to change to root in order to download the repositories and update the operating system. So we'll type su, enter, we'll use the password provided before, and we'll now start with downloading the repository. So just follow me here. We'll type wget. Oh, before we do that, we want to go to etc, and I believe it's not this one. Let's check where we need to download this to. Let's make sure we're in the right place. Okay, so we'll download it to the yum.repos.d. So you type cd space and the path to this directory, yum.repos.d, under etc. And here we'll do wget http / public dot -yum dot oracle.com / public -yum -ol7 for the Oracle Linux 7 .repo, and we'll hit enter, and we have it saved. Now let's see, run a few updates. Alright, so first we'll do yum install GCC. These are requirements for the virtual desktop drivers. So yum install GCC, and when asked we would be positive, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. We would say yes, and yes to get this installed. It's libraries. Alright, and then we'll do yum install GCC make kernel -devel, like development. I'll give you a second to look, and now I'm gonna hit enter. And again we'll say yes whenever we're asked. It's probably a switch to do that automatically. Alright, and now we'll update the headers. Yum install kernel -uek -devel. See if that works. We'll say yes. Alright, and now we'll update the operating system. We'll just do yum update and hit enter. And this may run for a while. It should be I believe about 1,000 packages. Let's see. It should say now. Yeah, about 1,300. It doesn't take too long, but I'm not gonna take you through this whole phase. Just make sure you do not stop it by mistake, because it's kind of a pain to fix it. If you stop and need to restart, it would most probably fail. So do not touch the keyboard until it's done. All right. And we are back. So this process is now complete. The operating system has been updated, and we are going to go ahead and install the VirtualBox drivers. So I'm going outside of the VirtualBox itself to the VirtualBox application, and I click on devices and insert guest additions CD image, which is going to mount their ISO as a CD in the system. And let's see, right, it recognizes that, and I would run it automatically. Need to type our password. And let's see. Alright, we are getting some error saying that there's a missing package, rightfully so. So we are going to pretty much copy that. And we're going to install that package as well. So I'm going to, just in case, open in terminal, su to change to root, login. I'm going to install that package. Alright, it says yes. Guess we can close this one for now. This is installed, so we're going to right click on the VBox Editions CD icon, which is now on the desktop. I'm going to try to run it with the run software. Let's see if that works. And we choose run. Type the password. Let's see if it behaves any differently now. As you can see, it's building the shared folder support module is the one that we need. And this is done as well, so now it's okay. Alright, next thing is we are going to share that folder where we downloaded all the softwares to, so this Oracle Linux virtual operating system would have access to those files. So again, we'll go to the VirtualBox and we'll go to, I believe, settings, machine settings, shared folder, and we're going to add a folder here. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so I clicked on other and I have access to the folders on the host drive, so I'm going to click on the folders where I have the files. So in my case it's here under downloads, and I'm not going to check the read-only, but I'm going to check the auto mount, so it would always mount this drive, and I would make it permanent, and I would choose OK. And the next thing is, actually before I click OK, is I'm going to make a folder name and make it a little simpler. So I'm just going to do, let's just call it shared, all lowercase in our case, and we'll do OK. Let's see, I believe we now need to mount it, so let's try to do that. Who am I? I'm root. I want to have access to these files as Oracle, so I'm going to go change back to Oracle, su Oracle, and I'm going to sudo as a super user mount -t space vbox shared files vbox sf. Actually, before I do that, because I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm going to create a folder where these files are going to be mounted. So I'm going to do that under the Oracle home. So I'm going to go to home Oracle, and I'm going to create a directory here. I'm going to call it share as well. And now I'm going to mount the shared drives there. So let's try it. Sudo mount -t vbox sf. I believe p6 space home Oracle share. Obviously, you can, for those who know, you can use the tilde. Let's see if that works. Alright, it doesn't like that I'm not in the sudoers file, so I have to add myself, so let's do that as well. Alright, so first, since using the VI editor could be a little tricky for beginners, I'm going to change the editor to Nano, which is a little friendlier. So I type editor equals nano vsudo. And then it opens the sudoers file as nano. Now I'm going to scroll down. You need to look for an unmarked line. I probably could have saved myself this work if I set the Oracle user as administrator earlier. And here is that line. Allow root to run any commands anywhere. And I'm going to add the user Oracle here. And I'm going to just copy paste the rest of it. paste. And I'm going to press Ctrl X and Y and enter. And now I'm going to change back to user Oracle. And I'm going to try to mount or share again. Let's see. It's not happy. Let's see. Mount VBox SF mounting failed with the error protocol error. Let's see. Machine settings. Shared folder. It's called shared. The folder name. So that is my mistake. Type shared, and here you go. The shared is the file, the name we provided to the share under the VirtualBox software, under the settings. And now we see a share here. If we click it, we actually see the files that we downloaded to the host machine. So basically we are done with the operating system. So what we've done so far is that we have installed the VirtualBox software. We then installed the Oracle Linux version 7 on top of that, and we updated the operating system, and we installed the VirtualBox drivers, and we shared the files between the host and the operating system. And basically at this point we are ready to take the next step and install the database.